I'm making a new tabletop RPG where you play as a group of teenage mutants that fight crime and eat snacks and just have fun being rad. Every month on my Patreon, I make a new TTRPG zine. Sometimes it's an adventure or a guidebook, and every once in a while I make a whole new game. Like this month, I'm making Teenage Mutant Tunnel Goons. It's a hack of Nate Tremai's Tunnel Goons game, and as you could guess, it is inspired by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've loved the Ninja Turtles since I was a little kid, and I'm excited for this Mutant Mayhem movie coming out soon. And I just thought it would make for a cool project to create a rules light TTRPG all about being teenage mutants. And of course, I know that there's a lot of Ninja Turtle games out there already, but I just wanted to take on the challenge of creating a game that was really easy to make characters and jump right in and start playing right away. Something great for one-shot adventures or shorter campaigns. A game that's easy to play with your kids. And I had a lot of fun using Tunnel Goons to make a Ghostbusters game. It's really my favorite lightweight game, and it's so easy to hack and make your own. I just love Tunnel Goons. You know, it's a game about being a little fantasy goon getting into trouble, and I thought that just translates so perfectly to being a little mutant dude getting into trouble in the sewers under the city. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm super excited about putting this game together, and I wanted to tell you all about it. So the way it works is super simple. You know the TTRPG formula where there's a game master that explains the world and the NPCs, and then the players get to interact with the world and see how their actions change things, and they go on a fun adventure. So the mechanics are so perfectly simple. When the players want to make an action and the outcome is uncertain, they roll 2d6 and they try to beat a difficulty score that the game master comes up with. Usually it's between like 8 and 12. The characters have 3 stats: mind, move, and muscle, and they add the appropriate stat bonus depending on the action. On top of that, if their mutation, you know, what kind of animal that they mutated from would help them with this action, they get to add +1. So like if a player is a hippo mutant and they're trying to bite an enemy, they would get +1 because hippos are really good at biting. And then they'd also be able to add their muscle ability stat on top of the roll. And maybe you also have equipment that would help in this situation. You get to add +1 for that. So maybe you're trying to use a crowbar to force open a lock, +1 for the crowbar. Now, mechanically, that's basically it for the game. It might seem too simple, but what I've found is that not having spelled out mechanics and abilities and all these crazy stats for a player, you know, if they're a gorilla mutant or an owl mutant, that's all they have listed on their character sheet. It forces the players to really think creatively about how their characters might tackle these tricky situations that they find themselves in. And that's the kind of fun that I really love when I'm playing RPGs. It's not about just reading your spells or abilities off your character sheet. It's about using your imagination and having fun playing your actual character. So you know, a spider mutant is gonna try and break into a building in a lot different way than a fish mutant would, but I don't need to have some wall climb text or breathe underwater text for me to know that. It's much more fun for me to think about what it would be like to be a spider dude and try and come up with creative ways of using those mutant powers. And I should say this is an easy game for GMs to run as well. It's really just one set of numbers, the difficulty score, so enemies don't even have HP or anything like that. The difficulty score just gets reduced down to 0 as combat happens. The GM doesn't have to worry about rolling. Really, their job is just to describe the situation and the NPCs and then come up with these difficulty scores when things get dangerous. There's also rules for making a team, and there's mechanics for eating junk food and being rad, but I'll talk about those more in future videos. This month, as this video comes out in July, July, I'm just focused on releasing the rules and the character sheets, and then next month in August, I'll release an adventure. So if you don't want to come up with your own Ninja Turtles inspired adventure, I'll have you covered next month. All of this stuff is going to be available on my Patreon, which is the first link down in the description. The rules will be available digitally at the end of this month, but if you want the physical zine, you have to sign up this month in July. Now, this whole time I've been drawing this frog mutant. It's going to be one of the spot illustrations inside the zine. And for this zine, I really wanted to do some of the illustration and layout by hand, which again, I'll be talking about in upcoming videos. I'm having a lot of fun creating this new game, and hopefully just hearing me talk about it gets you excited to check it out or to create your own game. I really encourage you to take a look at Tunnel Goons. It's a 2-page set of rules that's super easily hackable. It's a great game to dip your toe into making your own games. And yeah, if you're excited like me about the Ninja Turtles and are interested in running your own Teenage Mutant Tunnel Goons game, go check out the link to the Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!